Hey, what's up guys? BriarRabbit here, and today I watched the Xbox One reveal on, I actually watched it on Xbox Live, and it was pretty good. I was pretty amazed by some of the stuff they introduced. I gotta tell you, I was a lot more impressed by this presentation than the PlayStation 4 announcement by Sony. So let's just jump right into it. One of the coolest features that they announced right off the bat is that there's gonna be a Kinect attached to each Xbox, and it will actually recognize you. So instead of signing in through gamertag, it'll actually just see you and sign you in automatically. I thought that was kind of cool. A little bit on the creepy side, but in my house, it'll be really convenient because say I'm upstairs playing Call of Duty Ghosts upstairs, and somebody wants to use the Xbox downstairs. Well, it'll recognize that person and just sign them into their profile, which is cool. You know, it doesn't sign me out of my profile. That happens a lot in this house. I thought that was pretty cool. So it's going to be called the Xbox One. They did announce that. Finally, we have a name for it. It's not the Xbox Fusion. It's not the Xbox Infinity. It's not the Xbox 720. It's not whatever else we've been calling it. The next box. But Xbox One, it sounds like a good name. I couldn't care less about the name, frankly. They showed the hardware. Now, the hardware looked really good. It's really sleek. It's very rectangular, very sharp angles. What it looks like is a high-end receiver or something that belongs in with your home audio video equipment. It really looks classy. It doesn't look like a toy like the first generation Xbox 360 did in white. It doesn't look kind of like super macho like the first Xbox does. It doesn't look just bizarre like the PS3 does. It just looks good. It looks like a nice piece of equipment. And I think it might be one of the nicest things Microsoft's ever put out. It's really sleek. The controller looks very similar. They went over the controller a couple of times. They said there's 40 new design innovations. One of those being haptic triggers. So I guess there's going to be some way to program your game to make the triggers do haptic feedback, which is cool. There's going to be a brand new D-pad, redesigned battery to be more comfortable for different size hands, which makes me happy because I've never liked where the battery rests. It just cramps my hands up too much. It's also going to be a live TV box, so you'll be able to plug in your cable to it. I don't know actually if you'll be able to plug in cable directly to it, or if you'll have to jerry-rig it up to your cable box. They didn't go into that too much, but you'll be able to play live TV through it and use voice commands to control the TV. So if you want to say, show me History Channel or turn on ESPN, it'll just do it, and that's really cool. And it has its own guide, so you can say show me the guide and it shows you the channel guide, like a television guide. It was pretty impressive. It was happening very quickly, which makes me think it's a little weird. In my house, TVs change channels very slowly, cable boxes even slower. So if the Xbox is that much more powerful and can just do it that much quicker, that'd be really cool. It also has these hand gestures that are they looked a lot better than what they were on the original Kinect. You can choose between hand gestures and voice commands to do certain things. I'm sure you can also use the smart glass to control the Xbox as well as a controller. My guess is that they'll release a regular remote control as well, but there's a ton of different things. The hand gestures look cool. If you're watching a movie, you could squeeze your arms in and it would minimize it and bring up kind of a side screen. If you've ever seen the Microsoft Surface, you'll be familiar with like how they kind of minimize the main window to bring in a sidebar. And in that sidebar, you can do a bunch of different things. So let's say you're watching a movie. The example they showed was watching Star Trek in the main screen. You can minimize that and either Skype on the right-hand side. The Kinect is going to be able to do Skype. You could browse the internet with Internet Explorer. There's a bunch of different things you could do. And it was pretty cool looking, and it looked fluid, and it looked easy, and it looked powerful. So yeah, Skype is going to be in there. The new Kinect has a 1080p camera, and you'll be able to use Skype with that, which I thought was pretty cool. And you'll be able to Skype while you're doing other activities. So one of the partnerships they unveiled was ESPN, and another one was NFL. So let's say we're watching an NFL game. You want to talk to your buddy who's in his house watching the same game. You guys can talk over Skype. I thought that was pretty neat. So what else we got here? Okay, so it's going to be a TV. It's going to have the guide. Oh, the hardware. I didn't even talk about the hardware yet. basically, what we already knew about the hardware seems to be true. 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's going to have Blu-ray. It's going to have a USB 3.0 port, or many ports, which is awesome because let's say you run out of hard drive space, maybe we can just plug in a new hard drive to it using USB 3.0, which is much faster. Maybe controllers will be using USB 3.0, second-party controllers. Who knows what connectivity we can get out of this, but that's a fast connection, and that's really good. Blu-ray, 500 gigabyte hard drive. 500 gigabytes is small for this day and age. A terabyte is a pretty cheap hard drive at this point, and you can get 3 terabytes, which I assume will be pretty cheap by the time this comes out. I don't know, 500 gigabytes seems really small. So the thing's running 3 operating systems, which I thought was kind of interesting. You might not be. One is like the main Xbox operating system that's going to play the games and kind of do all that stuff. One is the Windows kernel, which I think is going to be the overarching Xbox Live experience. When you turn on the console, you have apps and stuff that you can use. That's going to be basically Windows. And then there's a third operating system that just serves to connect those 2 operating systems, which is weird. It seems like a strange way to design it, but whatever. They went over the Kinect again. Again, it's got a 1080p camera. They went over the controller again. Again, 4D design innovations. They talked about Smart Glass a little bit and how it's going to be redesigned to take control of the new console. So I've used I've used Smart Glass a little bit. It's not really useful to me. I haven't really found that much usefulness, but hopefully it'll be a lot more useful for the next one. Xbox Live is going to be completely redesigned. One of the things that they talked about with the new Xbox Live is that you're going to be able to search for a match for a game that you're not playing while you're playing the game you are playing. So let's say BioShock Infinite 2 comes out and COD Ghosts come out. Imagine you're playing BioShock Infinite 2 and you say, you know what, let me start looking for a match in COD Ghosts while I'm playing Infinite, and it'll start doing that for you. That's cool. That's the kind of stuff that just makes this stuff seamless and fun and easy and snappy. I like that kind of stuff. So let's talk about the games a little bit. Electronic Arts came out. They were talking about basically 4 games. Nothing real shocking here. FIFA, the new Madden, NBA Live, and UFC. They're all going to come out in the next 12 months. They're all going to have a brand new engine. They showed a little bit of the new engine, kind of showing it off, and it was pretty impressive. There was, right at the beginning, there was a scene where the camera zooms out from a football player's mask, and it was like a reflective mask, and you could see the field that he was looking at in that reflection. It looked good. What was really cool was the interactions between the players seemed more realistic. So a lot of times you see in Madden, you kind of get these canned animations. This seemed like they were more customized per instance, and that looked cool. Like there were soccer players jumping over the legs of other soccer players, tackles kind of getting brushed off a little bit. It looked cool. I'm not a huge sports game guy, so that wasn't that exciting, but Forza Motorsports 5 got shown, and that's going to be a launch title, and they showed a little trailer for that, and that looked amazing. They showed this little slow motion scene in it where you could see the tire treads on the cars, and it looked like the tire treads were wearing out a little bit. You could see the air intakes for the cars. You could see the carbon fiber on the kind of the accents, and it looked almost 3-dimensional. It looked really good. They also had Remedy come out and show Quantum Break, which maybe is a shooter. It was a weird trailer because it was half live action with real actors and half kind of this tanker crashing into a bridge, and then a little bit of gameplay right at the end, and it was hard to tell what it was going to be, but it looked like it might be a shooter. After that, they talked about how they were going to have 15 exclusive games in the first year of release, and 8 of them are going to be brand new franchises, so that's good. They also talked about Halo a little bit, but in a weird way, they're actually releasing a Halo live-action series with Steven Spielberg involvement. So Steven Spielberg was actually broadcast to the event. He was actually announced it. It was pretty cool to see Steven Spielberg. A Halo live-action series on TV is kind of exciting. If it's good, then I'm excited about it. So they also talked about Xbox teaming up with NFL. It doesn't look like they'll be broadcasting NFL over Xbox Live. It looks like it'll be more kind of secondary content. So while you're using your cable box or your Xbox as a cable box, you'll be able to kind of enjoy that second screen content, like controlling your fantasy football team, or you know, again, Skyping with a friend. So that pretty much is it. They did not announce a date, and that's a little bit disappointing. I was kind of hoping to finalize a date. They'll probably do that at E3. They definitely are holding some stuff back for E3, which is understandable. You know, they don't want to blow their load before E3. But that's it. I'm pretty excited about it. I got to tell you, comparing this to the PS4 announcement, I got to say I was a little more impressed by this one. The PS4 had better software, I thought, or they showed more software. But this one, they showed off the hardware. That was nice to see. They did a good job of showing how you're going to be using this thing other than games. And using it as a cable box, using it as, you know, a movie player, Blu-ray player, and really having all that control with Kinect, with Smart Glass, with the controller. It was pretty exciting stuff. So compared to the PS4 share button, I'm a little more inclined to like the Xbox. Oh, Call of Duty was also there. They showed Call of Duty Ghosts. I made a separate video about that, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but it looked good too. And so check out that video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.